let's talk about making some virtual instruments in Scratch. So when you create a new project, you are probably going to see this cat sprite appear. I don't want the cat in my project, so I will get rid of it here. So to start, you can add a sprite. There are categories to sort them by, or you can just see all of the ones available. I like this dinosaur, so I'm going to start with this little guy. I can position him this way, or I can type something into my X to move sideways, or my Y to move up and down. I find it easier to drag them around. I can change the size. Let's make this guy 80% of what he is. And the direction, I can change the angle. Like that, you can drag or you can type. And you can show or hide. I want him visible. So here's my little dinosaur. Let's name him Red. You don't have to name your sprites. I like to name them. And in my events, I am going to say, when this sprite is clicked, I would like to hear a sound. It says play the sound pop. That's fine. I click on the sprite and it pops. I could do that another way. I could say when the spacebar is pressed, or maybe I'll change that to the letter A. When the letter A is pressed, play the sound pop. I'm typing the letter A and it's making that popping sound. Now, I don't particularly want that pop sound. I'm going to record my own little dinosaur roar. So I went into the sound menu and clicked record. So I can listen to it. Oh, it trimmed off some of it. Do you see these red bars? I can crop my sound. So if it was all the way here, there would be a lot of empty space and me taking a breath. So I don't want that in my recording. So now, if I go back to my code, I can change it to the recording one. And now, when you click on the dinosaur, it roars. Now, that's not all that I can do. I can also change the look of it. So when the sprite is clicked, let's switch the costume to dinosaur 2. So it'll lean back a little bit. And then let's change the size by 10. So we're making a little bit bigger. And then in the control, let's wait half a second. And then let's go back to that first dinosaur costume. Was it dinosaur A? Yeah. And let's change the size back. Let's set the size back to 80%. So if I click on this dinosaur now, it makes the sound and it does all of those things. I can duplicate this block and I can add it so it will do the same thing when I press A. Now, my little dinosaur is ready to go. I'd like to make another one, and I don't want to do all of that again, so I'm going to duplicate this dinosaur. But I'm going to make a few changes. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to go into the blocks, and I want to change the sound. Here's my roar. I want to make it faster. So I'll go back, and I'm going to make it so it will return to 60%. I'm going to do the same thing one more time. I'll duplicate it. I'm going to shrink this down to 40. In my code, I want it to reset to 40 after I click it. And I want to change the sound to make it faster again. Cute little baby dino. Now, another thing that I missed, if I go into my code, right now, all three, if I type the letter A, I'll get a little dinosaur chord. I don't necessarily want that. So I'm going to change this third smallest dinosaur to go with the letter D. I'm going to change this middle dinosaur to go with the letter S because those keys are close together. So I can type A, I can type S, I can type D. And I have a little xylophone made of dinosaurs. You know what? I might even add one more because I love these so much. So I'm going to go in the other direction this time. I'm going to duplicate my dinosaur. I'm going to make this one larger. Going to make it the full size. Oh, I might have to drag these over. So this is my full-size dino. I want it to be full size after I click. There we go. And I want to change the sound to make it lower or slower. Oh, that was the pop. I did that again. I want to add a backdrop. Let's see, maybe just some nice blue sky in the background. Oh, they're floating on the air. I'll lower them a bit. My little dinosaur family is walking along. Now I want to add one more thing to this before I decide it's finished. So this time, when I add a sprite, I think I'd like to add a music one. So I'll change the category up here. And I will put maybe a little speaker up in the sky. Floating magical speaker. Let's change the angle a bit. Why not? And I'm going to start off the same way with the code for the events when the sprite is clicked, or maybe when, let's say, the letter Z is typed. I want to play a sound. Oh, it has drum funky set as the sound. I don't know. Let's see what other options there are. I'm coming down here to choose a sound. And let's see. If I go to loops, I'll find I can hover over these to pick one. That one sounds like a nice sunny day for dinosaurs, so I'm going to choose this one. So now back in my code, I can play guitar chords. Now I want that to loop. I want that to keep going. So in the control, I'm going to say when that sprite is clicked, play it forever. And I will duplicate that block and add it over here too. Now, whenever you make something loop forever, it's nice to give it a way to stop. So I'm going to say when the space bar is pressed, let's see, stop all. So let's see if that works. There's my loop. I tapped the space bar and it stopped. Great. I could play around. I could make the speaker dance a bit as it played. But for now, I have a loop. Okay, so far so good. So that's Scratch tutorial number 1, making a virtual instrument. Play around and see what you come up with.